Welcome back to the official CABSAT podcast powered by Northtelecom. Joining me now are two amazing guests, Randall Barney, who is the Director of Certification and Membership at the World Teleport Association, and Mr. Mahdi Nazari, who is our Group CTIO at Northtelecom. First, let's start with you, Randall. Why don't you introduce yourself and WTA to our audience who don't really know who you are?
Sure. Again, my name is Randall Barney. I'm the Director of Certification and Membership for the World Teleport Association. The World Teleport Association is the only association for the satellite ground segment, and we represent members of teleport operators, technology providers, satellite operators, including Northtelecom. We do that through certification of teleport facilities, our research reports on upcoming technologies or disruptions in the market, such as Starlink and the coming of the operators. And we do events at shows like this.
Great. And Mr. Mahdi, why don't you introduce yourself and Northtelecom to the audience who don't know about you?
Absolutely. Although we are the host here, so I'm heading the technology and innovation section in the company, the group company. So we are technically service provider and at the same time system integrator as well. So we have a footprint in different geographical location, starting from East, Singapore, Malaysia. We have office in all the three states. Dubai, obviously, we are right now. The headquarters of the company, it was founded 2007. And going all the way to West, we have presence in Germany and Italy, teleport in Germany and presence in Italy. And our major activity is providing service to enterprise, including oil and gas solution, oil and gas customers, mobility, and anybody who is looking for using satellite as a media for whatever reason. As Randall said, Northtelecom is a partner of the WTA, I think, for over a decade. So they are the only organization quite long in the industry. We always have the opportunity to talk together, to discuss about all the trend and all the opportunity and upcoming, I would say, trend in the market. Good to be here with you guys. That's all.
All right. Then I guess this specific podcast is going to be more of a discussion. First of all, do you believe that this region is being underserved in terms of connectivity, and what can be done to better serve this region?
Definitely. I think there are large parts of the region that are underserved. What can be done? Well, satellite operators in particular and service providers such as Northtelecom are well positioned to help because you don't need the infrastructure on the ground in those places to serve them better. But it's going to take public-private partnerships. It's going to take a lot of work with governments to make that happen. Affordability is probably the biggest challenge.
Absolutely. Okay, if I want to, you asked about the region. I'm assuming you are talking about the Middle East, right?
Africa.
Yeah, if you are talking about Middle East, absolutely, I do agree with Randall. So we have a very, very advanced cities in the region like Dubai. There is no any problem in terms of connectivity. They are, even in the international ranking, they're quite high. At the same time, we have a lot of underserved community countries in the region, and we have a very particular geography over here, right? So, like due to the structure. So you are talking about like cities. They are sometimes few hundred kilometers away, small populations. Still, I believe there are a lot of tribals community in the region. So I do agree with him. Satellite can serve them very efficiently, and I believe there has to be a great collaboration between private public sector regulators. They are actually like kind of regulation for them teleport across the globe. So that's the only way I believe, or that's the more efficient way we can actually go and work together. To serve the underserved community and close the digital gap as much as possible.
So you both touched on this specific topic is a collaboration between the public and the private. How does that collaboration look like? What does it look like? What should the public expect from the private, and what should the private expect from the public for this to succeed?
Well, I'm gonna defer to Mahdi on this. I think he has more experience.
So, I mean, in my opinion, there are a lot of ways to do that. But if I want just to touch quickly some of the challenge, I think when we are talking about public, I mean particularly about the regulatory body. So what they can do, they can actually, the more you are put the regulation, I mean, when we are talking regulation, because it can be a double-edged sword sometimes, right? You can have exactly. You can be too regulated. It can be too much paperwork, too much hierarchy and everything, which eventually the private sector does not like it, because we guys were coming from the background. We want something quick, easy, and we want to actually have less engagement with all this paperwork and all. However, we would love to be regulated. Again, it's a very much double-edged sword. There are good examples, successful examples in the world, if you will, and there are some unsuccessful examples as well. So I believe when we are talking about public, if they act like a lubricant, if they can actually ease the regulation and make it attractive for private sector to jump in, that would be the best contribution for them. And obviously, when private sector come in, they have a different interest. Partially, they have financial interest. The other part, they want to have the bigger footprint. That can work together very well. And there are, as I said, a lot of successful examples in the globe, which the governments try to keep less restrictions. They put better regulations, and technically, private sector jumping. Dubai is an example.
Yeah, I think a lot of those initiatives need to come from within those communities, because governments change every so often, and one government may really be trying to bridge that digital divide, and then the next government will come in and cancel that project.
Absolutely.
So there needs to be, again, that initiative needs to come from within that community.
Good. So there sort of needs to be a mechanism to ensure continuity.
Correct.
Okay, great. I guess the next question would be on new technologies. Leo, I'm hearing a lot of the guests here talking about Leo, and the fear for Leo taking over the industry and Geo being obsolete. What's your take on this?
Well, Leo's here. We're not going to be able to avoid it. So we need to work together as an association and as partner companies to kind of band together and come up with competitive solutions. Geo is not going away. There's still a place for Geo. Applications that don't rely on low latency will always benefit from Geo. And Starlink is here, Hyper is coming. So just working together, I think, is probably the biggest thing we can do right now.
And how is it going to affect the industry as an technology in this Leo?
Technology? Well, I mean, there's a big push on multi-orbit technologies to handle the different constellations and integrate that seamlessly into the networks. I think that technology is probably the most beneficial at the moment. Also, the virtualization and automation of the network will really benefit and help companies scale up.
So in my opinion, actually I had a very great discussion with Randall yesterday about the same subject. So in my opinion, it's too early to judge. It would be very much premature judgment about the LEO. Absolutely, LEO is a kind of disruptive technology, disruptive innovation in the satellite market. But it's in my opinion, it's a very, I would say, positive disruption. So technically, they made the satellite connectivity more affordable. So we have a concept always in today market, in today business. They are saying if you want to disrupt something, make it faster, cheaper, and easier. And I believe LEO constellations, they are doing the same. So I don't see any negative point over here. If I want to look at as a business standpoint, so we are not satellite operators. That's why we are really embracing all the new trend and all the new technology. I know for the fact that some of the incumbent satellite operators, they are working on their own non-GSO constellation.
Yeah.
So basically, they are learning from the new entrant, look like a Starlink and hopefully in the future some others. So this market is pretty dynamic now. You cannot really think about, and I do agree with what you said, that the geostationary satellite will be there for several reasons. Some technical reasons, some commercial reasons, some strategic reasons. People, they don't talk about those strategic reasons in the market because probably you don't have the audience for that. But experts, they do aware of that. So it's not going to be something like they push away the GSO from the market. However, they take some of the market share, obviously. But eventually, I believe this one will make the satellite industry better off because we got to have quite diverse product and quite diverse portfolio in the market. So if somebody come and say, hey, I want something which is faster, easier, cheaper, so where you go? So we don't push them to go for the substitute. We keep them within the satellite market orbit, and hopefully we can actually expand the size of the tube. And then that's the big, So I look at it super positive.
Great. All right. Thank you, Randall. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Your super busy schedule. I know, Randall, you're on many panels and fireside chats. I know you're not sprinting. You're quite popular here on our booth. And I wish you a great show.